And welcome to Kirky's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making fruit deluces and we're going to be doing it the filling. This is over 2 lessons, so we're going to be making the filling first and then we'll be putting the filling in the next lesson into the pastry. So the equipment you're going to need is a bowl for waste, a little bowl to put your apples in, a peeler, a zester, a chef's knife or a vegetable knife, depending which you prefer to use, a spoon or a spatula, and a frying pan, and a chopping board with a mat underneath to stop it from sliding. And the first thing you're going to do is to get everything ready, is to do your mise en place, to get all your ingredients ready. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to zest your lemon. So with your lemon, it's much easier to zest it before you cut it. So rather than cutting it in half, I've got it cut in half here by accident. So it's much easier to zest it before you cut it, and definitely zest it before you juice it. So to zest it, you use your zester and you have the bent end towards it. So it's like curved towards it. And then all you do is gently like this, just pull it down. Now you don't want to go and zest the pith because the pith doesn't taste very nice. So you just want to take the top layer off like this and zest it down. And this we're going to put in the mixture. If you don't like it really lemony, you don't have to use the zest. So we've got the zest in here, like that. And then we're going to juice it. So you can use a juicer, or you can cut it in half and just squeeze it and use your hands to stop any pips going in the bowl. So just squeeze it like this and then stop any pips going in. And you want half a lemon for this. And then any pips just in your waste. Okay, once you've got your lemon and your zest in here, you're just going to put this to the side because you're going to be adding your apple to this to stop it from going brown. So the first thing you're going to do is peel your apples. With it, pull the peeler away from you, don't pull it towards you, and make sure your fingers are out of the way. And you just gently just go from the top and down. And you just need to push it in to start off with to make sure it goes in, and then it should glide down. And always peel away from you, and be careful of your fingers because we don't want any bleeding finger ends. So just gently peel it down, do that, put your peels in your waste, and then an apple at a time, cut it in half through the centre, cut it again, so you've got it like this, and then you're just going to use your knife, or you can use a corer, and you're going to use your knife to cut a diagonal in like this to get this core out like that, and that's your waste. And then you want to cut all the same size, so cut it in half and then chunks about that size. And remember, keep your fingers out of the way, and then put your apple straight in with your lemon so it doesn't go brown. If you have other fruit, you'll do the same as well. So cut it into the same size. If you have pears as well, do it the same size. With plums, it's a bit different, and you need to remove the pip, the stone in the middle, which is a different technique, which we will show you if you have. And just make sure you mix it so that it's covered in the lemon juice. Okay, so the next step, after you've chopped all your apples and they're the same size and you've moved them around so they're covered in the lemon to stop them going brown, you're then going to cook your mixture. So with your frying pan, just pop it on the hob, and you're going to turn it on to a 3 or a 4. Let's go. Okay, once it's warmed up and you can feel a little bit of heat, don't put your hand on it or too close to it, just above it so you can feel the heat. You're then going to add your butter. And you're going to add your sugar. And you want to melt your butter and your sugar together. This helps it caramelize. Make sure on this pan as well that you don't use a metal spoon, which you shouldn't be using anyway, but you don't want to scratch the non-stick surface. So either use a wooden spoon or your spatula. So give it a good mix around and you can see it starting to melt. There we go. Once it's melted and your butter's melted, you're then going to add in your apple. So put your apple with your lemon juice and your lemon zest in. And then if you would like to add cinnamon, you can. So get a teaspoon of cinnamon, or a pinch, probably not a teaspoon, that would be quite a lot. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and add your cinnamon and give it a mix. And you just want to soften your apples, you want to caramelize them. And make sure you're mixing so it doesn't burn to the bottom of the pan. And also you need a heat-proof mat so you're ready when you take off your pan. So just leave this to cook slowly and just stirring it so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Let's pause for a minute. Okay, so once it's starting, you should start to see little bubbles and you can hear the sizzle. Keep stirring, this will help it, and you want to do this for about 8 minutes it will take to soften and caramelize your fruit. So just for 8 minutes, keep it going. Okay, so after it's been simmering for about 8 to 10 minutes, you can see it's got a lovely golden colour and it's softened. You don't want it too soft because it will collapse. You're then going to add, if you've got any raisins, add your raisins. If you've got any softer fruit like plums, you probably want to add this now for a couple of minutes, as you don't want it cooking for 10 minutes. And you're just going to stir this around. As you may have noticed, the washing up has been done. So what you could do in your pairs is one of you could stir whilst the other one washes up, and then the person who's been stirring could then dry up. So you're multitasking. Okay, once you've stirred this for a couple of minutes, you're then going to take your pan off the heat and you're going to scoop it into your container, which has your name on. If you don't have a container with you, just pop it into a little pot. Very carefully, you don't want to burn yourself. Just scoop it into your pot. Let that cool. Put your pan on your heat-proof mat. Turn off your hob. And then you're going to wash this up, wash and dry up everything. You're going to leave this to cool, and at the end of the lesson you'll put it in the fridge till your part 2 lesson where you put your jalousie together. Okay, enjoy!